Guys, welcome to a fantastic, fun-packed Flying Pig United fan panel preview. I'm your host, Eddie, and I'm here with three legends. You're used to Usman. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. It's been a nice break from my United, so I'm happy.
Yeah, we've had about, I think it's about 7 days to recover, so hope your energy is all good for this next tie. Here with Griffo as well. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. I echo what Usman said about the break. It's been welcomed after what transpired over the last month.
Yeah, man. There's been a lot of what do you call it? A lot of prima donna stuff going on, and we've got a new guest, Maisie. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Doing all right, doing okay. So everyone, you know the Flying Pig protocol. You know, hit the like and subscribe. Flying Pig is up to 50K finally. So let's have a little bit of a round of applause. Fucking hell,
Yes, that's
that's
massive,
50K.
massive.
People in the chat keep getting your comments in. We're going to get into it when we can. Just want to say big up to Atrix United, Steven Zevon, Reverend V, Football United TV, Now Kane, Elliot Maduna, Palmerius, Stephen Carr, Shazad Ahmed, one of the great mods. Quite a few people getting in. So, just hit the like and just keep interacting in the chat, and we're going to get to your comments when we can. So obviously we're looking at the preview for Man United versus Villa, and we really do need a cup run. I mean, I've been doing previews on my own channel as well. I've been trying to get myself psyched, really get up for this, because I really hate, the prima donna stuff that's come out, the leaks to the media. I just wanted to get your guys' view on a little bit of things that have been coming out in terms of things like people not wanting to train uh, when it's dark, past 5 p.m. Things like, I heard one silly thing about up to 17 players want to leave. And then, things like the team's not really happy with the style of play. It's like these are too many things that are not professional. And I just got to read out. I don't know if you guys have seen what Fred has been saying on Twitter. He said about we shouldn't really be looking. Oh no, he said he's seen fake news, so we really shouldn't be looking at too many of these leaks and taking them too seriously. So he said that himself and a lot of the Man United athletes are, they're trying to do their work behind the scenes, and we're not supposed to really get caught up in what the media sensationalize. So I just want to get your view on you guys. How much do you believe as to what's really going on? Do you really think people were moaning about training in the dark and things like that? Yeah, Usman, I'll go to you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of the news is definitely going to be fabricated. We know how the media work. They want to paint a certain picture or a certain narrative, and it's easy clicks for them. You write anything about Manchester United, the best of the time, it's easy clicks. Let alone at a time now where a lot of rival fans, including our own fans, are jumping in on every single report because we are now become the banter club again. So it's very easy for them to write any report without any real credibility. They can say what they want, and people will take it as face value. However, regarding Fred's comments, he's going to say that. I don't really would look into Fred's comments too much. Although I'm happy he's come out and spoken his truth. What else is he going to say? Yeah, there's a massive unrest in the dressing room. So he's not really going to come out and say that, even if it was factual or not.
I think some people tend to be quiet then when they don't, when they think it's true.
Yeah, potentially that's a good point. But in terms of the unrest in the dressing room, I think it's quite apparent that there's somewhat of an unrest in the dressing room, whether it's for the reasons of Rangnick or Ronaldo or whatever the reasons may be. I suppose we don't know those factors, but it's quite evident with what's going on the pitch that the players are not giving 110%. I mean, just the bare minimum, i.e., making enough movement off the ball. There was a notion that Pogba and Martial were lazy, and supposedly that could still be factual, but it's not every single player in the team. You can't really pinpoint one individual and say, oh, Pogba's lazy or Martial is lazy. It's literally the entire 11 that seem to be having the same issue that they were branded of having earlier. So I think there's definitely something happening behind closed doors, and it's not fair on the fans, to be honest.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, us fans are getting, taken for mugs really. There's fans going to games week in, week out, some traveling from long lengths, and the players can't even do the bare minimum, like make 2 passes without losing it or running. Like, it's just, that's what you expect from Man United. So yeah, for me, it's disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyone else? Maisie, what's your view on that as well?
When you're looking at these kind of reports saying like the players don't want to be here, there's issues with Maguire, Ronaldo, there's a big massive apart in the dressing room, you do feel a mixture of emotions as a Manchester United fan. You feel angry, thinking how can you come out and say, how can you feel all these kind of issues, how can you turn on a manager after 37 days of being at the club? And when you do look at Rangnick as a manager, he has been at so many different clubs. He's well respected by other managers like Tuchel, Klopp as well, as come out with so much respect. And knowing that you have seen these kind of comments, you do feel angry, you do feel upset as well. I do believe, I do think, yes, with Fred, it was such a good thing for him to come out, say, yeah, don't believe this kind of news, because you did need someone from Manchester United to come out and say something like, but I do think, I don't mean it to be wrong, but I do feel like Fred wasn't the right person to come out and say it, because when you do look at that kind of instance, Fred looks like he's friends with absolutely everybody, and they don't ever look like there's ever any issues with Fred. And I feel like in them kind of situations, maybe a senior player should have come out and said it, a captain should have come out and said,
Like
right,
Maguire,
don't
I was
believe
just about to
everything
say
what's
that.
come out with.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I genuinely do believe, that somebody else could have really come out and said exactly what was going on. Like, yes, this is fake news. Don't believe everything what's coming out. But the players do need to up the game. They need to know that what they're doing on the pitch is absolutely wrong, because we've had several managers now post for Sir Alex Ferguson. We can't just keep blaming the managers at every single breath. Like, right, this is the manager's fault, let's sack him. This is the manager's fault, let's sack him. You need to look a bit further ahead. You need to see, right, why these players not performing. Is it to do something a little bit higher up? Is it the board? Is it the Glazers? Or is it just simply at the fact that the players think, I don't want to play, it's just for the money? And we need to look at a bit further more into that. And knowing that it is coming out after 30 plus days of Rangnick being in charge, you do know there is something what's going on in that dressing room.
Yeah, I mean, Griffin, have you got anything to add to that?
No, not really. I'm just thinking you wouldn't get this at any other club. It's just Man United. You don't hear about a City divide in the dressing room or Liverpool divide. It's literally just Man United. So, and it makes us the laughing stock. Usman said we're the banter club of the league now, overtaking Arsenal, which I think just sums it up perfectly, really.
I mean, I'm not really trying to hear that about Arsenal. I still think Arsenal are the banter team, because obviously they've finished like 8th place 2 seasons in a row. That's all I keep saying. My brother's an Arsenal fan, and he's trying to be laughing at me for that stuff. I mean, yeah, you can laugh at us for like the 5-0s, things like that, but we've not really dropped out of Champions League like they have. Yeah, there's a bit of a circus going on, but we've got quite a bit of a way to be like falling into where Arsenal are in terms of like finishing 8th place. I think that's when we'll be banter, So the players have got a chance, to turn it around. And with, this FA Cup, that this is the silver lining that should be happening, where we have a cup run. And, this preview is supposed to be about Man United versus Villa. So I'm going to, get back to the task at hand. And I've just got a few fun facts, which I've labeled them, omens that kind of favor Man United. So the omens are looking good. Manchester United have won 10 of their 12 FA Cup meetings versus Villa, including each of the last 6 in a row. Another one is Manchester have won their last 9 FA Cup home games by an aggregate of 20 goals to 2. They're unbeaten in the last 11 at Old Trafford in the competition since a 2-1 quarter-final defeat to Arsenal, who should be the real batter team. And then another one is Aston Villa have lost their last 6 FA Cup matches. So, I mean, obviously, omens that doesn't mean it's really relative to the fixture, because really, if we look at the form, both teams are on like bad form. Man United, 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss in the last 5, and Villa, 2 wins and 3 losses. So pretty much both teams are not in great form. I'll just get the injury news out of the way as well, so we can talk about what teams will think will start on the pitch. Man United have got Pogba still out with a thigh injury. Martial still out as well with a knee injury. Lindelof has got COVID, so he's a major doubt. I don't think he'll be starting. As for Villa, they've recently gotten Coutinho. I don't know if you guys know about that. On paper, it could be a good signing, but he's out with COVID. They've also got Marvelous Nakamba, who's also sidelined. So, yeah, I mean that's really the news coming out in terms of the injuries. In terms of how Man United will start out, I'm not really sure. I've really been racking my brain as to what kind of formation they'll go for, because I don't know what you guys think to this 4-2-2-2, this 4-2-2-2. I'm not really vibing with it. I mean, we've seen in that Crystal Palace game they were able to make half an hour of a gegenpress, and since then it's been like kind of downhill. So yeah, Maisie, I don't know what you think to the formation. Are you like, yeah, what do you think to the 4-2-2-2?
To be honest, I don't think the 4-2-2 really does suit Manchester United, because having that 4-2-2, it's about a pressing kind of play. We barely have any pressing kind of players. The only players who truly press is Cavani and Fred. And without them, and then they play, they're not exactly that good, to be honest. The formation doesn't work. What I really do think is the best option going forward, we need to use a formation what the players are used to, and that formation is like a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, because we all know these players are used to it. We know, like, there's certain players who won't press, there's certain players who won't run. And I think, is it because of that 4-2-2? Because it's more of a narrow kind of formation, and it's about using that width, and it's more about the fullbacks. And when you look at our fullbacks, Dalot and Telles is the best people for that 4-2-2, but we always know that they're not exactly always going to play. Dalot is still only very young, and at this moment in time, I think Shaw has played the last couple of games, so it's a bit of a wonder if, example, Telles will start. But I do believe that if we was to carry on with that 4-2-2, we do need to bring in some pressing midfielders. We need to bring in a right back as well, for me, because I don't think otherwise it won't work, and we should just go back to what we are used to. I'm not a particular fan even of that 4-2-3-1, but if I was going to pick, I'll go with the 4-3-3, just because when you do look at that, 8 times out of 10, a title winning team, a cup winning team, are the ones who use that 4-3-3 formation. It's very rare to use the diamond, the 4-2-2, the 4-2-3-1. So I think that's kind of formation. The players will be used to that, and I think it suits Manchester United the best.
Okay, before I come to the rest of you guys, I just got to honor some of the super chats. Zayn Mayasi always comes in with a super sticker. I can't see it on my stream. It's probably someone laughing. Is it? Someone's got to update me as to what the sticker is. Is it someone laughing? A little potato rolling around laughing or something like that. But thanks for the super chat, Zayn. We're not a banter team yet, man. Zayn's been chatting a lot though because we're on bad form. We've got Gungshi as well, one of the great mods with a super chat. Thanks for that, mate. How are you, legends? It's time for these players to show they give a damn and get a big win over Steven Gerrard's band of merry melters. They need to show us fans that it means something for them to play for United. This is the thing, man. We've got to see a reaction. Griffo, in terms of the 4-2-2-2, I mean, do you think these guys can grow into it, or do you think it's got to be changed, man? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm with Maisie. Go back to the 4-2-3-1, or maybe hopefully a bit more attacking in the 4-3-3. Something the players are used to, because I think Rangnick's only here for 6 months. As of now, he might stay on. Who knows? But if Rangnick then, I think, does Rangnick have a say in who the next manager is? There was.
I'm not sure, because this is the thing, yeah. I mean, we know that Richard Arnold, right, is becoming CEO, which is pretty much director of football, isn't it? It's like if they're going to have Ralph really in a serious role, surely they have to make a new role where they just have Richard Arnold do the commercial side, and then Rangnick does the football side. But it's just going to be consultancy. So is he going to be allowed to pick a manager? Because with a consultant, you just take advice at your will. You don't really have to take the advice. You can ask him, like get him on a Zoom call and say, "Yeah, Ralph, what should we do?" And then you could just turn around and say, "Oh, yeah, we're not doing that." So I'm really unsure, man.
It's very vague, isn't it? The consultancy role, it's very vague. They don't quite know what he's gonna entail when he is there at the end of the season. But what I was saying was, is there any point him trying to get the pressing out of these players if it's only going to happen for 6 months and then we have a completely different system in the summer? So I think at this point, and it's annoying because we're about midway through the season now, I think now it's just about getting over the line, trying to get a top 4. So the likes of Ronaldo doesn't want to leave, and other players who don't want to play in Europa League don't want to leave. So I think it's just about getting over that line. And I think stick to what the players know, 4-2-3-1. It wasn't the best formation, but it's far better than the 4-2-2. I think it's too open, the 4-2-2.
Just gotta say big up to Avenger Mass for the likes, 43 likes. But I'm agreeing with you there, Griffith. I think it looks too open. Usman, what have you got on the 4-2-2-2?
Yeah, I mean, the formation itself, you need specialists for that formation. You see Bruno Fernandes is a perfect example of a player that has absolutely no clue what he's doing alongside Cavani. Both of them two players in particular look completely lost. More senior players as well. So, if the senior players are struggling with adapting their sort of individual abilities, so to speak, to suit the role, the lesser the younger players are not going to be able to take to it either. So for me personally, just go back to what we know, 4-2-3-1. I don't think that formation is actually a problem. I think it's the manner in which we deploy ourselves in that formation. Bayern Munich play 4-2-3-1 with Goretzka and Kimmich. Obviously, Goretzka being the more advanced player in that pairing. So, we're more than capable of emulating something similar to that in terms of the way they approach that formation. In terms of caliber players, it's definitely on a different level. But for me personally, the 4-2-3-1 wasn't the issue. It's the fact that we were persistent with 2 DMs, and both of which would have to sit. For example, McFred. McTominay has shown his capabilities when he plays box to box. Not to say he's good enough to be playing week in, week out, but he does look a better player when he has a license to join the attack and actually get, make those third man runs into the box from deep. And that's something we haven't seen enough of in general from our overall play. So for me, 4-2-3-1, but positive instructions in the manner in which we attack the opposition.
So yeah, Usman, do you see like that the press really happening? Because it looks like in those, I don't understand. I can't I rack my brains as to why they can do it in half an hour against Crystal Palace, and then even against more of those minnows that they played, Burnley and Newcastle. We didn't even see. I don't think we saw anything in terms of high press.
We haven't really. I mean, Rangnick's comments after Wolves are very damning for me personally. His whole interview, for however long it was, I watched that 3-minute clip, and he basically kind of alluded to the fact that the players are not picking up the instructions well enough, and the players seem to be struggling. And for me personally, that's why he's potentially just dropped the press as it currently stands, because he probably thinks I've not got enough time to work on it, because he's had and again, I'm not making excuses, but as someone who's coached, you can't really do a substantial amount of work if you've only had 1 day, a game, 1 day training, game, 1 day training. That's the one concurrent thing since he's been here. He's had a game every 2 or 3 days, so he's not really had a long period. And obviously, we had the 2 weeks Carrington was closed. So he's not actually had a long period of time where he's had an opportunity to really instill it. This is the longest period he's had, the 7 days, and then we've got another 7 days until we play him in the league. So I'm going to be judging him off this 2 weeks to see where he is tactically with the players, if he genuinely believes the players are capable. Because if he's not capable of changing something in 7 days drastically or enough to suggest there is somewhat progress, then that's when I'm going to start to worry. But before, or since up until this point, he's not had enough time, basically. But people obviously don't want to look at that as a factor.
All right, I just got to get into the comments. Some people are putting some interesting things in here. K Slater, thanks for getting in here, mate. Agree that we do need to switch of formation, but Matic is the only CM that can handle the 4-3-3. But I don't think our midfield is talented enough. I don't trust McTom or Fred. I trust Donny in a 2. I'm not sure. I mean, definitely I agree that Mick Fred is just not consistent enough. I don't trust them. But yeah, why have we not seen Donny come in? He's a technical player. Surely people like Rangnick, who loves systematic play, would put in a systematic player. I'm really not getting this. I'm really. It's it really frustrates me because, Usman was saying maybe he's going to leave the press a little bit because some people are not getting it. But that's the fundamental thing of his philosophy. So surely he's got to try and get it back. Maybe he picks some of the youth players. Maisie, what do you think? Do you think we might see some of these youth players come through? I don't know. What's it? Is it Charlie Savage? Is one of them? Zidane Iqbal? Oh no, Mengi's gone to the African Cup of Nations. I don't know. Yeah, Maisie, what do you think? Do you think we might see some different players come in that might actually listen to Ralph?
I think one player that Ralph is really liking is Alanga. He really likes Alanga, and he has played Alanga. He's put Alanga on the bench, so I can definitely see a lot more of Alanga coming to the end of the season. And to be honest, he is a fast kind of player, and he'd be someone who I would trust on the wings because I think he's an absolute brilliant player. He's very calm for me on the ball, so I think he'd be one who we would see a lot more frequently. I was reading reports, even though Hannibal is at AFCON at the moment, that we're going to see a breakage of him by the end of the season. So that'll be another player who I think will work very well into the Manchester United team. We have seen a couple of players already, Charlie Savage for one. We only seen like roughly about 5-10 minutes at the moment. So it'd be interesting, especially in this FA Cup game. It gives the opportunity to try and have a little bit of a fix-up, even though it's Aston Villa. They'll be doing rotation, just like we'll be doing rotation as well. So we'll probably be having a couple of players on the bench. It's just a matter of what players are going to be on the bench, and I can definitely see maybe Charlie Savage, Iqbal on the bench as well. But I do reckon that Alanga will be definitely one of the ones who will be starting.
Okay.
There is a few players though who is doing very well at the moment. I know Mengi is currently on loan, but to be honest, it would have been good to even try and get him a couple of more games as that centre back, because when we did play him against Young Boys, you could see the determination he had because he slipped. He got straight back up and he still managed to win the ball. So I thought that was absolutely incredible. And you do need more players at Manchester United with that determination, just like Menga.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that kind of stuff on Mengi, because he's showing that kind of hunger to get back up once you made a mistake. It just reminds me of what Rashford did when he came on against, I think it was Wolves, where he made one pass and he put his head down. The pass went out of play, I think, and he put his head down like he just like gave up. It's like, I know you don't want to really read into all that body language completely, but it's like sometimes it does tell a story. I remember Usman sharing something on Twitter. You shared a picture with the players before
the Phil Jones
Wolves game. Yeah. The players were all walking like they were like going to a funeral, and then there was Jones just jumping in the air, just hungry. And then it turned out he was the best player against Wolves. So you can read into body language a little bit, in terms of that context. Griffith, I don't know what you think though. Are you thinking we're going to see some fresh students in there that can be molded into a gegenpress? Because from what I'm seeing, some of these mature guys are not listening to this gegenpress.
It's so difficult, isn't it? I think Ralph did mention rotation. He's not going to rotate the full team, but there will be one or two players I think he's going to try and get into that team against Villa in the Cup. But it's not going to. I don't think it's going to be a game where we can rotate, because I think Villa were going to look at that cup and think this could be a good opportunity to win something. Can't really remember last time Villa actually won something. So it's sort of. I mean, Leicester won it last year, so I think Villa might see that and think that they can go on a good run and try and get that bit of silverware. So I think they're going to play a semi-strong team. So I think we, in response, is going to have to play. I think the likes of Alanga hopefully is going to start, like Maisie said. As for Savage and Iqbal, I'm happy to see him on the bench, and if we're comfortable in 60, 70 minutes, we can bring him on for 20. But in terms of rotation, I don't see it tomorrow night.
Okay, I mean, I'm just thinking about Gerrard's team as well, because I'm wondering if we need to be worried about Villa. I mean, obviously, I think we do actually, because we lost to them under their previous manager 1-0 at home, right? And they pretty much went toe to toe with us. The way they were playing, they had a lot of chances with their guy up front. What's his name again? the English striker. Watkins.
Ings.
Yeah.
Watkins,
Ings.
wasn't it? Watkins was getting a few chances in that 1-0 loss, wasn't it? I don't think did Ings play that game. I don't think he played that game.
I don't think he did. To be honest,
Yeah, it was
I think he was
Watkins.
injured. Yeah.
Yeah, so Watkins was getting quite a few chances. De Gea, which I think is going to be player of the season, was bailing us out, making quite a few good saves. I was looking at like how Gerrard plays like before the game. He just try and do like what Liverpool do, like especially at Rangers. He play that 4-3-3, and he'd push high to like towards the halfway line. And when he's in possession, when his players are in possession, he'd have the fullbacks bomb forward and create like in the attack it would be like a 2-3-5 almost. I think that's right. So I don't know. I mean, on current form, I think Gerrard tries to press Man United as well. Seeing as we lost as well that last game 1-0, I think Gerrard's going to be thinking we're going to be a little bit weak in terms of confidence. So I'm a little bit, I don't want to worry about Villa because on paper we should be the better team, right, guys? Is anyone worried about Gerrard pressing us and them doing the press instead of us doing the press? Osman, what are your thoughts? Do you think Gerrard maybe plays pragmatic or comes at us?
I mean, if you're a Manchester United fan and you're not worried, then I don't know what's wrong with you, to be honest. There's no way on God's given earth I think this is a foregone conclusion. If anything, I'm expecting us to get kicked out, to be honest.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding. But why would I have any faith? We just literally got humiliated by Newcastle and just about scraped a draw against them. Got battered against Burnley. I know the scoreline suggests otherwise, but Burnley, a team that doesn't attack, was outplaying us at home. Like, what is going off at this club at the moment? I mean, and then we scraped a good win against Norwich, and then Wolves quite rightly beat us. Granted, it was late in the game, but they deserved the 3 points without doubt. And for me personally, if I'm Steven Gerrard, I'm looking at that Wolves game and saying we're gonna just completely emulate this. We're gonna play on the front foot. You know, we've got the capabilities of doing that. You know, we've got the young players to press from the front. Ollie Watkins got pacing behind. Danny Ings is starting to find his feet again in terms of goals. Whether he goes fully strong, it remains to be seen. But for me personally, if I was him, I would go as strong as I can possibly get because they got a good chance of getting through, and they got Middlesbrough in the next round if they get through. So I'm worried. I'm worried massively. I don't know how our players are going to react to Rangnick. The reports are suggesting that the players aren't happy with training methods, or there's unrest in the dressing room, and it seems that everything is pointing to us to lose. But on the flip side, you know, this could potentially be a moment that the players galvanize and get together and try to prove people wrong, because at the moment, Man United's back is against the ropes without a shadow of a doubt. Not because of the Wolves game, but just with everything that's coming out in the news or in the media, speculative or not. It's a chance for them to come together and put on a performance. So it could go either way. Of course, I'm hoping that the players come out and use it as a bit of motivation to shut everyone up, basically, because at the end of the day, people are saying that, you know, we're not together. They've got a good chance to prove that they are together, win the game, show a bit of camaraderie on the pitch, and get a much-needed victory, because although our record hasn't been that bad, we need to start building momentum and actually putting in good performances, because the performances have been well below par. So, yeah, I think it could work in our favour, because Villa might underestimate us, if anything.
Man, I mean, Osman, I just got to remind you some of the omens. Yeah, Villa lost the last six FA Cup ties. That's a lot. Yeah, that's got to be cheering you up a little bit. Like, you know, maybe that's on the minds. You know, Man United have won 10 of their 12 FA Cup meetings versus Villa. That's
yeah, but how many of them are under? Yeah, but how many of them are under 30 though?
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't check those. You didn't check those stats, did you?
I didn't want to look that deep, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because 95% of them under Garner almost scored a free kick that would have tuned me up. He's gone into the top corner, but the keeper scored it out. So against Arsenal, so that was a decent effort. But yeah, me personally, I'm not one for omens. You already know that. But listen, by all means, man, if we can get a win, man, I'll be happy.
I'll be so happy as well. I'm going to come to Maisie in a bit, but we've got another super chat from Andreas Hansen. Thanks for that input, mate. Do we think if Ferguson came in that he turned this around? Rangnick hasn't coached a team for many years. He has built Structures. Wow, I've never seen structures written like that. He has built structures in organizations. Is he the right man?
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I just look to what he did with Leipzig. That's what really excites me about Ralph. The fact that he could take a team from the fourth tier to being a Champions League staple. That's hard in any division for me. Yeah, because you are dealing with humans versus humans, and you've got to make your team better than the rest. Yeah? You've got to transcend your situation. So if you're in the fourth tier, taking them to Champions League, and they're pretty much Leipzig are pretty much that. I think they're still there in terms of Champions League. They're still playing well. I don't think they're competing for a German league, but they play an identity of football, the gegenpress, and all of that kind of thing. I mean, there's not been enough time. I don't know what you guys think to that super chat. I'll keep it up there actually. Like, is anyone doubting Rangnick? Maisie, I think I'll come to you then.
In terms of Rangnick, you can't discredit the kind of manager he is. Just like you've mentioned with Leipzig, what he has done at Leipzig is absolutely incredible, and you can't see many managers actually doing that, especially in modern day kind of football. You never see managers who is able to take a team from fourth tier all the way to the Champions League. But when you do look at it, with this Manchester United squad, who can actually help us? Who can help us win the league? We've had David Moyes, we've had Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We've got Rangnick now, and that's not including the caretaker managers we've had like Ryan Giggs and Michael Carrick. So if you have got two managers who are in that period of time who is considered two of the greatest managers, Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, people say, yes, we got them past prime, but they still had such amazing careers. If you look at that, we wasn't able to win the league with them, what makes people think that we were going to be able to win the league with a completely different manager all over again? At this moment in time, we need to trust Rangnick, because I think he is a very intelligent man, and I think he does know what he's trying to do, but it's just about the players getting behind him now, the board getting behind him, and the owners getting behind him in terms of transfers, the games ahead, and the training.
Right, Griffith, any thoughts on that as well?
It's what, just over a month since he's come here. It's ludicrous to start doubting Rangnick. It is, as you said, what he's done with Leipzig, Klopp and Tuchel speak highly of him. Obviously, he's not, the bee's knees. He's not like the best manager that's ever graced the planet. But I think 1 month and the players are already leaking that maybe they're not happy with the system, and people are talking maybe Rangnick's not the right man. I just think
the media are sensationalizing a bit of that. I could just tell. I mean, if the guys start playing under Ole and then have someone come in with a style and then they're going to start moaning, it's like I don't see professionals doing that. Surely these guys are professional, though, Griffo.
You'd hope, but I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't. We've had some of these players have had 3-4 different managers, and all of them have gone the same way. So I don't see professionalism there. And as well, I use this example. I use the one fan example when I talk. You want Man United players to give their all every time they're on the pitch, and usually home games, especially, there's 60,000-70,000 there for United fans, and in that 70,000, at least one fan you would think is paid their money, saved up their money, arrived from, I don't know, Sydney in Australia, travelled around the world to see, and that could be their only game they ever watch, so they want to see the players give it. If that fan travels hundreds of miles, basically saves up their money to get the ticket and uses everything they've got to get that ticket, and then United don't turn up, it feels disgusting that United could do that to just that one fan. And then you can expand that and think maybe loads of fans who that could be their first and only game, and for that to be, I don't know, a Wolves performance or a Norwich performance, it's sickening.
They've got to turn up, because you just reminded me of there's a YouTuber that he was watching Man United from America, right? His first game that he came for was the 5-0.
You're about Tammy.
Yeah, Temi.
My boy Temi, yeah.
First game
Nah,
in
man.
Manchester, 5-0. That just screams at it screams at that issue of not being professional and trying to do your job properly, you know, and do it for the fans. I have a real issue for that, you know, because that's really been, I'm sure it's been depressing a lot of us, where we're not seeing things that should be a prerequisite when you come into a team, any team. It's not just Manchester, right? It's not just Manchester United. You go into a team, passion and commitment should be there. We've heard people like Evra coming out. I don't know if you saw Evra's recent video coming out saying, you know, the DNA is okay, winning trophies. Obviously, that's, you gotta have a kind of plan to get towards that, but it's also commitment and passion. It's like, why should we have to be talking about what should be a built-in factor? You know, that really frustrates me, man.
I'm sure us four and everybody in the chat would die to put on a Manchester United shirt and play for the club. And now you feel that those players maybe just take it for granted, pick up a wage packet, and off you go. It's dreadful.
I mean, just to add to that, I think if you look at Phil Jones' performance against Wolves, I think that kind of epitomizes everything wrong with the mentality within the team. You know, Phil Jones, a person who's had a lot of scrutiny on a personal level from myself and everybody else, funny enough, he has something to prove. He has something to prove in that Wolves game, and you saw it. If you watch the highlights, you know, every single tackle, he was going in 110%. He was giving his everything. He left everything on the pitch, and it's clear that he did that. You could see that Phil Jones wanted that. Okay, maybe it was for a selfish reason because he felt that he had to prove to the fans about himself. And fair enough, but can you give me any other player that's shown that much amount of desire in the last couple of games? I can't think of anyone. Like, Phil Jones wanted that badly, and that is the issue. The bare minimum of playing for Manchester United and putting on that shirt is wanting to win because you're trying to work towards something, and our players don't want it bad enough. You know, one of the few players that have come out openly and scrutinized the players and the management, De Gea, and what's happened to him? Nothing positive. Lost his captaincy. Ronaldo comes out and calls out players for not performing to a certain standard, and now there's dressing room unrest. So for me, the issue is the mentality, and Phil Jones completely improved it. You know, if you want it bad enough, which he did on a personal level, he wanted to prove it. You're more than capable of putting in that performance. If even 4 players played like Phil Jones did in that game, we've been in that game comfortably. But the mentality is not there.
It's not a new thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. This is really frustrating because we've just got a psychologist in Sasha Lenz. Usman, do you think he's going to work any magic? I mean, I was saying on the previous stream, I mean, obviously having a little bit of jokes. Can he work something like a Jedi mind trick and brainwash these guys into being winners, you know, believing in themselves, turning on?
The issue is, right, the psychologist is a no-brainer, and it's quite evident that it's needed. But for me, the issue is a lot of the players that we've got and the ones that, you know, we hold, you know, to high esteem, so to speak, they haven't got winning mentality. They don't come from a winning background. Second is enough for them. You know, last season finishing second is enough for them. Like there's that clip in The Last Dance, if you've seen it, on Chicago Bulls, when Michael Jordan wins his that 3rd ring, and then 2 days later he's back in the gym trying to go for his 4th ring, and his teammates are out partying and stuff. And I'm not saying I expect everyone to have that mentality, but that's the difference. Because they don't want it bad enough. They're happy. We finished second last season. To some of them, that's an achievement. Maguire's been relegated 4 times. Him finishing second, in the words of Jose, second was my best achievement. Like, it genuinely is his best achievement because he's never been this high. So for him, his standards automatically are a lot lower than Ronaldo's, because Ronaldo's used to winning. He's not used to this mediocrity, and that's why he's come in and upset the dressing room, because he's like, what the hell is this bar? Like, it's so low. And he's not accepting it. And at the end of the day, for me personally, the issue is a lot of the players need to leave. And some of them might be my favourites or not. I don't really care. They need to get sold because we need to have a complete detox of the dressing room. If 17 players want to leave, pack their bags, get them on the next flight. They can all fucking do one. Because for me, it's not acceptable that players at Manchester United have got this sort of mentality that this is acceptable, because all they're good for is posting tweets about bouncing back and they never actually do anything. When was the last time? Okay, we may have won a game after the posted the tweets and bouncing back, but when is the genuine last time we played good? Leeds United, first game of the season. Apart from that,
that was a long time ago.
Every
as
other
well.
game, we may have got results and we may have bounced back, but we've been absolutely embarrassing in terms of performance level. So for me, it comes down to the players. I'd sell most of them. I don't care who it is. Pogba, Maguire, Shaw, get them out, man. Just get rid of them and start again because they're not It's not acceptable for me.
On Phil Jones as well. One final thing that I saw an interview. I think it might have been on Man United TV, and apparently Jose Mourinho. Have you seen the Jose Mourinho that he said? Out of all the clubs he's managed, only one player has ever taken an injection to get fit for a pre-season friendly, and that was Phil Jones, which kind of shows the mentality that he has, that even in the pre-season friendly, he wants to take an injection and get on the field because he cares that much about playing for Man United. And I think no other player, probably Ronaldo would, but no other player probably at our club would probably want to do that, which is vital when you think of it. De Gea might,
Rashford has done it, to be fair.
Rashford
has done it, but that's what it comes down to, man. Like, we're sitting here talking about the tactics, the formation. At the end of the day, we know what football's about. You watch football, and sometimes it's just about which team wants it more. You know, which team wants that second ball more. Sometimes you're not going to win the first ball, but who wants the second ball? And 90% of the time, we don't win the second ball because the players don't want it. I mean, look at Jones. The guy was... There's a couple of clips prior to Jair Martinez's goal that Phil Jones is the first one to go and close down the shot when he's playing centre back. He literally is behind Matic and McTominay by like 5-6 yards, and he still beats them to get and blocks the shot. I mean, that's the difference, man. Like, they don't want it. It don't mean enough to them.
You know what, Usman? This is like it's like this kind of thing, of the balance of the passion, the commitment, and the tactics. It's really got my mind like just spinning like a kind of tumble dry kind of thing, because it's like under Ole, I thought it was really about the tactics, and I think it really was. But then once we're coming to the new manager, and then we're seeing Ralph talk about, we don't have the intensity, things like this, which is in regards to people's mentality coming out again. It makes us talk about the players. So it's like, how can you change the players' psychology unless you've got, the psychologists like Sasha Lenz coming in and doing their work. I hope they're paying him enough.
You know
what I mean? Let me honor this super chat. Mama Sini, thanks for coming in here, mate. Some of our players look more lost in life than on the pitch. Wow, that's deep. Get psychologists, gurus, motivational speakers, get them running in the same direction. Wow, that's a deep one. That is.
They need to pull the Fergie birds, the flock of birds video out, man, and get them to watch that, because that's the only thing that can save these lot. Because
I've not seen that.
I mean, it's a long story. If you know, innit? But Fergie talking about the flock of birds having to be in formation to fly together from destinations. So the birds long. Anyways,
I'm going to Google it later and watch.
It's inspiration. It's one of the main reasons why Man United won so trophies. A lot of players literally reference that speech that Fergie did to motivate them to obviously. In fact, they did it for the Ryder Cup as well, but I'm going off on a tangent.
Okay. Guys, in the chat, hit the like, please. Now, Kane, thanks for the input. We're trying to do a good show for you guys. So hit the like if you're in here, and we'll get to your comments when we can. So in terms of the team then, like that we think is going to start, because I was going to say, because I don't like this 4-2-2-2. I really don't like it. I really don't think it's been fluid. I think it's been too open as well. And I've seen, like, in the research for Ralph, that there's other formations he can play. He's played the 4-1-2-1-2, which I think would work. I mean, obviously, I'm not a manager, but I've seen other managers use it. And in the Premier League, it tends to be, obviously, in any league, it's a battle in the midfield. If you can put enough midfielders in there to dominate, then you're going to pretty much be more likely to win the game. Well, I want to see 3 midfielders in there, like to work more triangular passes. I don't see that in the 4-2-2-2. It's so rigid that it doesn't seem like you can work the triangles. So I'm hoping, in terms of that kind of thing I'm talking about, that we see the 4-1-2-1-2. I'm trying to think of my team that I'm going to predict. I mean, the injuries are saying, was it Lindelof is out, Pogba out, Martial out. I mean, at the back, I'm just going to say my predicted team already. Yeah, so in goal, De Gea. Yeah, because I don't know. Is Henderson still here? Actually, I don't even look at that. Is he still? He's still here,
Yeah,
right?
Henderson's
Yeah.
still at the club, but from what I was reading, that he's supposed to be linked to Ajax on loan
Is
for
it?
around the season-long loan. So he tries to get into the World Cup in December.
All right. So I don't know. Actually, you might be rotated into the team. I don't know. I don't know. Even if he doesn't go, maybe to try and keep him happy.
I'd
Maybe
sell him.
Henderson comes in.
He's the one leaking all the information. Apparently,
You think so?
I know
You think
that's what a lot of the sources are saying, that it's Henderson coming from Henderson. So I'd get rid of him, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I think I'd still stay with the hair in there, and then I'd have Varane with okay. Bailly's gone to AFCON. You have Varane with. I want to see Jones again. I want to see Jones in there. He's been hungry. Had a good last game. And then the fullbacks. I mean, I've had debates with Usman over Wan-Bissaka. I mean, I'm going to give it to you there, man. I mean, you know, obviously I was trying to back Wan-Bissaka, but that Wolves game, man, I had my player cam on Wan-Bissaka, and those crosses he was putting in, man, it looked like he was trying to cross to Peter Crouch. We had Ronaldo in there, not Peter Crouch, mate. About four crosses, none of them got to anyone. And then, the one, he looks nervous as well, because remember that last cross he did where he kicked it with his left foot first and then kicked it with his right and then went out of play. I was like, oh my God, Wan-Bissaka, what's going on? So I think Dallo right back. Tellez, I want to see him come back in. And then, I reckon Ralph changes it, you know. I reckon 4-1-2-1-2. So holding midfielder would be Matic, because he's the only pure holding midfielder we have. And he's played that those last two games. I reckon he comes in there. And then the two box-to-box players, Donny surely is doing work in there, man. Surely he's been doing his gegenpress homework. He's got to push himself onto the team. Surely. Van der Beek on the right. Fred, he's been rested for quite a bit. I think he's had a coronavirus. I reckon he comes in. Attacking mid, Bruno gets a chance to, you know, try and do more of his productivity. We've not seen it in the last few games. And then up front, I reckon we'll have, Ronaldo, he'll be rested to be up there. He's not been working well with Cavani though, so I reckon Rashford gets put in there, for some pace and behind. I reckon that comes into play for my team. People in the chat, get in your team, just like, you know, just talk about what you think will happen. I'll come to Maisie then. What do you think then? Does Ralph stay with his 4-2-2-2?
I think he will probably stay with that 4-2-2, especially knowing that there's been a week now since there hasn't been any games. I think he's going to try and drill this 4-2-2, try and drill this pressing in. So I think he's going to give this 4-2-2 another go. And my predicted lineup, I'm going to go with De Gea in goal. I think left back, it should be Tellez, just because I feel like when Tellez has played, he hasn't done too much wrong for me to identify to say this player does not deserve to be on the pitch. When you look at like stats from previous games, he's had like the most tackles, and then you look at that and you think, can Tellez really not defend? So he can defend, and he's brilliant at going forward for me. And he's the player who I would rely on the most in terms of corners, set pieces, free kicks. I think he's brilliant in them kind of areas. So I would definitely put Tellez in there. I would put Dallo as the right back, because I think Dallo should have some game time, especially with it being the FA Cup. Give him a little bit of run. Centre back is going to be a difficult one for me, because from what I've read, Lindelof has recovered from coronavirus. I'm not too sure if he is back in training yet. So if he is back in training, I think he'll give him a shot alongside Varane. If
Did you say
not,
Lindelof?
it's
I
going to be Phil Jones.
think Lindelof is back in training. Yeah, I see pictures of him.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I was reading, it's still a major doubt, but okay.
It might be.
Yes.
It might still be a major doubt, but he has been in training.
Yeah, I think if, for example, if he's not playing, it's going to be a Phil Jones and Varane partnership. In that first two, I'm going to go with Matic and Donny, because I think he's going to give Donny a little bit of run time, knowing it is going to be the FA Cup. Matic being a proper
just scored against Arsenal like 3rd minute, 1-0. But anyone cares.
Cool. They need to be made back into Banter FC, man. I'm loving that.
We
No,
need to do it.
the fans are on the pitch. Absolutely sees that one. Sorry to interrupt. I just had to get.
It's
just to
okay.
do the bit
You
after.
interrupt me, so we want a banter Arsenal, so it's absolutely fine. I'm more than happy to hear that.
Love that. The fan, literally all the fans are on some page. It's crazy.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think Matic, with him being a proper CDM that we do have, he can just be in front of the centre back, so it just gives a little bit more freedom for Donny to go a bit forward. And then the next two, I'm going to go with Alanga for one, and then on the right-hand side, I think it's going to be Sancho. And then up front, I think he is going to drop Ronaldo. I think he's going to put Greenwood, and I think he's going to put Cavani up front alongside with each other. We have seen Greenwood playing the right-hand side in the middle of the two, and I just don't think it works for him because it's more of a centre forward than he is a right-wing player, and it's not fair for a player to play in a completely different position. That's not their position. It's just like, you know, that if a player is getting played in the wrong position, they're not going to give that 100% effort. He can look one of the best players on the pitch, but he's not going to give his true potential if he's not playing in the right position. So I think he's going to give Greenwood that little bit of a shot up front.
I don't know. I don't see Ronaldo being dropped, you know, because of that influence he has, and he was made captain in the last game. I didn't see him being dropped. But before I come to the rest of you guys, Gongshi's saying this was from before when we were talking about psychology. The sports psychologist when he's going people at the end of the season at this rate.
What a comment.
Oh man, I really hope that's not the case, man. These players have to be fixed, man, and we can't be talking about mentality at a top club, man. Even though that's been the case for the past, I don't know how many months, you know. But yeah, Griffo, have you got your team in mind?
Yeah, mine's similar. I think he's going to stick with the 4-2-2. De Gea in net. If it's true that Henderson's the one leaking it out, then there's no way he even gets the bench for me. Put Heat in there. Even put Grant ahead of him if it is true. Wherever Grant is, I don't know where he is.
Is that fourth official?
Yeah.
yeah.
Legit.
Right back, Dallo. I think he needs some game time because Wan-Bissaka is completely out of form. Telles is in at left back. I think Shaw is probably better. He's better than Wan-Bissaka at the moment and probably overall. So I think give him. I don't necessarily players need rest though because we've had a week's rest anyway, and we've got another week until the Villa game on Saturday evening. So I would put Tellers there. Even if Lindelof is back, I'd probably just put him on the bench just because I think the way he got COVID and kind of there was that little worrying part of one of the games. I can't remember which one. So maybe put him on the bench just to be on the safe side and have a partnership with Varane and Jones. Fergie's smiling on somewhere. And then the defensive midfield partnership, Matic would probably have to be in there. And I think he's going to have to go with Donny because if Donny doesn't get game time here, then we always say it's done for Donny, but really, if you can't get an FA Cup game, then it is more than finished. So Matic and Donny, that midfield too. The more attacking midfield too, I think I can see Lingard getting a game on that left. I really can. I'm not sure why, but I can just see Rangnick kind of putting a Lingard type player in there.
Maybe you would like his legs. Yeah, maybe you might like that. The kind of running that Lingard has. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there was some reports I saw that a lot of players weren't happy with the amount of game time Lingard was getting. So I don't know whether that might factor in. Yeah, I saw. I don't know whether they were.
Well, Lingard should have left then. Why did he stay? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. He kind of done this to himself. So, exactly. But I do see him starting on the left. The right, I think there's not really many options. I think Sancho is there. I can maybe see Greenwood being played there, but I think Sancho does get the start because I think we need a sort of creative output, and probably out of all our sort of wingers and attacking midfielders, Sancho's probably the least selfish out of them all. So I think you need to kind of get balls into the front too. So I think Sancho is the right player to do that on the right. Up front, I think Ronaldo, I think, as I said, he doesn't really need to be rested because we've had a week's break. So, and you're stupid not to put Ronaldo, even if it isn't an FA Cup third round game. And then there's a few options whether he wants to try and persist with Ronaldo and Cavani and try and get the best out of that, whether he puts Rashford there. I think Greenwood gets, like Maisie said, a run up front. And I really want Greenwood to kind of stop being a winger and start being that central striker, because I think we can build a future around Greenwood as the striker. Obviously, he has his flaws. He's far too selfish. I think that needs to be slowly taken out of his game. But if he is up front, then I guess selfishness is kind of an okay trait to have if you're a striker. So I think Greenwood and Ronaldo as that front two. And then you got maybe Rashford on the bench, Cavani on the bench, just in case you need the game goes. I think the game's going to go to extra time, personally.
Oh, please.
Oh, is it extra time and pens?
I see it as well.
No, there's no replays.
Yeah, there's no replays, isn't it? Due to COVID, isn't it?
So it doesn't go straight to pens?
It's extra time and pens.
Oh, my God.
I can see it being like 1-1, and then
It's
I think we'll
gonna
win
be-
it.
It's going to be a
but I
long
think it'll be
night.
extra time. I know.
I really hope not. But Osman, I'm going to get to you in a bit. Let me just honor some of these comments right now. Now, Kane, I'll go with De Gea in goal, left back Telles, centre half Jones and Lindelof, right back Dallo, midfield Fred and Matic, front three Ronaldo, Sancho, and Cavani. Okay, that's an interesting lineup there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure about this. What other people saying? I mean, K Slater was saying again, we are dominated in midfield with Fred anyway. Donny will hold possession, meaning we don't need to cover as much. I hope we get to see Donny. I really hope we get to see that. Mama Cena was saying exactly crosses, not sideway passes all game long. Usman, you might as well get into your team. And what's your mentality? What's your formation?
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to obviously what you've all said. I mean, just quickly before I get into it, I do think Ronaldo shouldn't be playing this game personally. I know he probably will, but I'm doing it what I would do, just to clarify. So backline, De Gea in there. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of Anderson at the moment. Right back, Dalot, centre backs, Varane and Jones. I mean, Jones deserves his place. I never thought I'd ever say that. So that's some madness, especially 2022. But he deserves it. So he should get out of the game. Telles left back. I think Luke Shaw was quite poor. And again, the comments that he's made post match probably warrants him being on the bench, anyways. Midfield 2, I've gone slightly different to what everyone else has done. I think Matic has been abysmal last 2 games, to be honest. Against Burnley, McTominay carried him. Again, I can't believe I'm saying that. And in the last game, Wolves, Matic was just leaving McTominay on his own. I'm not saying McTominay played, but he was poor as well. But they were shocking, man. Getting overrun. So I'm not playing him. So I'm going to go Fred for his energy, and hopefully that we press. And I'm going Donny van de Beek next to him for obviously his ability to control the game. So I've got one person, either Workhorse and Fred, and then Donny is distribution, etc. Donny to explain what he does. I know that probably won't happen, but that's just what I would do. On the left, a person who's avoided confidence. Hopefully, it's an opportunity for him to get a goal. Marcus Rashford. Again, he's been poor to say the least, but this is an opportunity for him to potentially shine. Hopefully we press from the front. I'm basing it on pressing, so I've got Rashford left, Jadon Sancho right, so them 4 players all capable of pressing, a lot of energy, hopefully. And up top, I've gone for Mason Greenwood, of course, because he deserves it. But the other person that no one's mentioned is Bruno Fernandes. I've got Bruno up top next to Greenwood, and Bruno playing as the centre forward, so dropping into the hole, picking the ball and linking the attack. So he's like, again, please take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt, but he's playing the Bergkamp role, basically, behind Henry to an extent, where he sort of kind of plays in the false position and obviously just wanders around. So like a 9.5, as they call it. So Bruno Fernandes dropping into the hole, picking the ball up, and obviously linking up with Greenwood, hopefully. Creative. And all of them players are capable of pressing. No excuses for any of them, all young, fit lads. And they all have it in them. So for me, I wouldn't play Ronaldo or Cavani.
So you're staying with that 4-2-2-2? That's what you think?
Yeah. I'm going to agree with the 4 because I think, as Maisie said earlier, I don't think he's going to change it, so there's no point. But yeah, so Bruno Fernandes is basically playing up front with Greenwood, but his role would be to play in a 10, if that makes sense, because obviously a very fluid formation. if you play it properly. So he kind of
like a
fixes that
Rooney
issue.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, Rooney is a good example. Yeah. So he fixes that issue of not having the link in the middle, and then obviously when we're off the ball, Bruno drops into the midfield, so then it becomes a 4-3-3. So Bruno being at the tip of the midfield, so it's fluid, isn't it? So that's what you want. And then obviously when we got the ball, it goes back over. So
by the way, I did mention Bruno as well in mine though, but
sorry,
I had my formation for 4-1-2-1-2, as in Bruno is the one behind the two. Yeah, the diamond. Bruno at the top of the diamond. So I'm hoping we get, you know.
We're not going to see that anyways. It's going to be Ronaldo and someone.
But there's hope. But there's hope, Usman. There's hope that Rangnick sees what's going on, and it's not working.
Hopefully, he watches this, so you know, it's all good.
I hope he's watching. But people in the comments, thanks for being in here. Obviously, keep hitting the like, and we're gonna do our score predictions. So get in your score predictions as well. Apparently, there's one more minute left in the Arsenal game.
No, it's literally last kick of the game right now.
The last kick of the game.
Arsenal have got to throw in their own half.
Yeah, where's Zane? Where's Zane? Come in here, Zane, so we can laugh at you when you go out, mate.
They're out official. It's full time. Yeah,
full time.
Yeah, full time. 1-0 to Nottingham. Courtesy, I've forgotten the guy's name.
Good.
But yeah, good goal.
Shazad Ahmed is saying what they are. Banter FC. Yeah,
I think Ghana's dropped to one of the match.
Is it? Yes, man.
So.
Yo, get him back.
I don't know if
that's what I'm saying, Griffin. Recall him off the loan. You know,
I don't know if he got the man of the match, but he was definitely one of the main players. He was quality. So yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah.
Good to see.
That's what I'm saying. We're not banter yet, guys. I mean, at the moment, it's kind of teetering towards that, but you know, Arsenal, they're the ones. They're the ones, man. They're the guys that come 8th place, couldn't even get Conference League. But you know, Zane, come in if you need to, mate. You know
that could actually be a slightly bad thing for United, because now Arsenal don't even have the FA Cup, don't have Europe. They focus as mainly on top 4.
To be fair.
It
is a good point.
Well, we've got distractions like the FA Cup, Champions League.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We technically could be out this time tomorrow.
This is true.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but now Arsenal just have that one focus, so that could be quite a bad thing for us.
I mean, it's a bit embarrassing.
It could be. I just hope it takes away from their confidence, Griffo, that they're losing again to Forest. Hopefully that wrecks their mind. You know, I don't think they have a psychologist helping them, so hopefully they go into the mud. You know what I mean? Got a super sticker from Gungshi. I can't see the super stickers. What is it? I think it might be laughing at. It must be laughing at Zayn, because come on, he's in the mud. He's in the mud right now. So yeah, that's for Zayn. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, and then Joel Morris, thanks for getting in here, mate. Arsenal are out and didn't have a single shot on target. No way.
Oh, wow.
Nah, that's banter, guys. Come on.
I mean,
it's just like Spurs when they played against us.
I mean, Spurs. They did have Spurs kit on as well, which is hilarious.
Is it? Wow.
I mean, it was for good reasons, obviously. Yeah, fair shout out to them, but it's just funny that they wear white and they do a Spurs and get kicked out first round. It's classic.
Yeah, JW92 saying no trophy for Arsenal this season. Yeah, I mean, obviously they can't win the league. Maybe if they get top 4, they'll see it as a trophy, but they're not going to get top 4. Come on, Man United.
Let's not worry about Arsenal. Back to Man United.
Back to Man United. Well, husband, it just affects me that, you know, we're possibly going towards banter. You know, it hurts the heart, man. And Arsenal are those guys that have been doing the banter.
Hopefully we win tomorrow, and we can start building a bit of confidence up. Like we said, we've had a week off. You know, as Maisie said earlier, it's a good chance for us as fans to see what Rangnick is about. You know, he's had a good chance to train the players. You know, get a good W. Got another week until our next game, and then that's 2 solid weeks of training with his methods in the bank, and then hopefully, you know, we can kick on from there. Because after Villa and West Ham, okay, don't get me wrong, it's never an easy game, but you know, after them 2 games, we have got okay running, so we can potentially build some momentum.
Okay, Flying Pig United fan coming in here with a nice super chat.
Yes.
Banter FC, baby. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm loving that. But now Man United have got to do the work, so we've got to say our score predictions, guys. I'm gonna go for Wow, I was really trying to be really optimistic in my mind, and then I've just kind of changed my mind already. I was going to go for 3-0, yeah, but no, I think Villa come with some problems.
Do
I
it,
reckon it'd
do
be
it.
I'm not going to be reckless there, Griffith. I can't do it. I reckon we scrape it 2-1. 2-1, man. I reckon Ronaldo comes up with one. Who else did I say is going to start up front? I reckon Rashford. Rashford is going to get something. Just dig deep.
I hope so,
And just,
but he needs it badly.
yeah. So what were
Is
you
that-
saying, Usman, for your score?
Is that 2-1 in the 90 or 2-1 in the after?
Yeah,
extra time?
in the 90 minutes, no extra time. I don't want none of that, man. Yeah. 90th minute goal, Ronaldo. I'm saying it here, mate. Let's go. So yeah, Usman. Usman. Come on.
I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm gonna try my best not to banter Arsenal fans too much because every time I do, we lose
Nah,
the
do
result
it.
in game. So I'm gonna try to chill out. It's difficult. So I'm gonna just go with a win because obviously you have to back a team. I'm gonna say 2-0 Manchester United, which would be a very good result to be fair. So I will take that happily. So I'm gonna say 2-0. Goals from Bruno Fernandes and fuck it, Donny van de Beek. If he's on the pitch, if he gets on the pitch, he'll score it.
Go on, Donny. I would love that. I would love that, man.
Bruno and Donny, running it back. You love to see it.
All right. I don't know if I read this one. Flying Pig United fan. Where are you saying? Let's be having you.
Yeah, let's be having you. Let's be having you.
Yeah. So what are you saying, Griffith, for your score as well? Are you confident?
No.
Oh, Griffith, come on.
No, we're going to win. I'm going to go 2-1 like you, but I think we're going to have to need that extra 30 minutes and extra time, unfortunately. I can just see it. I think it will be a better performance. Well, can it get any worse? But I think it will be a better performance than what we've seen recently. But I think we'll need 120 minutes to be a very good Aston Villa team that are doing well under Gerrard. So it's not an easy game by any stretch, but we should be beating them in the 90. But I think we're going to have to need the full 120 for the 2-1 win.
Well, hopefully not anyway. Hopefully we get it done in the 90. Before I come to Maisie, I just got to see what other people are saying. Josh 700 saying, oh, Aston Villa 1-0. Man, you just...
that's my favorite account, that
man. Come on, man. Behave yourself, lad. Now Kane 3-1 Man United for Monday night, guys. I like that.
Go.
I like that now, Kane. That's what we're saying. Sin Games, what are you saying? Like 2-1 to Villa. I'm thinking they are doing... Sin Games, what are you doing? You're a United fan as well. I've seen you. I've seen you following Pigger. How are you being that pessimistic, man? Come on, man. I mean, there's got to be a reaction to this prima donna stuff we're seeing. There's got to be. They are professionals, man. Come on. Johnny, what's Johnny saying? 3-1 Villa after...
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Expectations on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably better if they are less disappointed. No expectation, no disappointment. Sort of thing.
Well, it takes the pressure off.
No, not just for us as fans to have a peace of mind.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. Oh, man. Man City 2-0 Man United. That'd be good. That's the same as you, Osman, as well. 2-0 Man United. That'd be great. Danny Hoagie 1-0 United. That's what I'm saying, man. Come on. I hope it's not close like that. I hope we see some... I hope we're shocked by, like, a gegenpress blitz and the guys just come out.
Just win 5, really. Man. Score 5 in first half.
You know what I mean? Just an easy 5. You
please. Just give us something to be, happy about, man.
Exactly, man. Jarvis Cocker. Gerrard will make it difficult for us. I expect a similar performance like we had against Wolves. I think we'll lose 1-0. Come on, Jarvis. Jarvis, man. Hey, G Wolf 3-2 to United. G Wolf always comes in with the optimism. Yes, G Wolf.
That's probably a Maguire hat trick. He's pretty.
Maguire's his boy, man.
Maguire still not scored a goal this season. Useless. He has in Champions. He scored in Champions League, didn't he?
Oh yeah, but he's not scored with his head. We need to see that slab
exactly.
get a
massive head, man. Bloody makes some use of it.
Gungshi, what are you saying, lad? My heart tells me 3-1 to United with a Phil Jones defensive masterclass, but head says 0-0 or 1-1 ball draw. So Gungshi, that means it may go to extra time then. and then penalties. So you have to say what the
I think
outcome
he
will
thinks
be.
we just go home after that. He's that happy, right?
Yeah.
Case Slater saying, get in, Usman. Okay.
Yes, later.
Got your fans there. Flying Pig United fan 3-1 as well. Okay. Maisie, I didn't want to forget about you. What is your score? Are you confident? I want to hear some confidence, please.
I'm not confident with this game at all. I'm really not confident. I'm sorry I broke everyone's heart. I broke my own heart thinking about it as well. I'm just not confident at all. I've been confident all season, and then I'm starting to lose confidence. I never bet against the team. I'm not going to bet a loss. But I actually do agree with Griff. I think it's going to be 1-1, 90 minutes, and then we're going to score a goal in the extra time. And I think that goal will probably be by Cabana.
Yes, there's some positivity there. I don't like the extra time, but yes, that'll be an overall win. Come on, man. I mean, I've got to tell you guys, I mean, I don't like to have the football be that, what do you call it, that relevant to my mood, to rep my day. But Man United rep my last week, you know. I've just been thinking about it all this time. I want to see good football. Osman, man, we need to see the good football, man. We have to see a reaction, surely. Even prima donnas come out and play sometimes. Come on, for a cup game, surely.
I mean, yeah. Look, I hope he plays players that got something to prove. Obviously, as we spoke about John prior, I think it's important that he changes quite a lot of the team. We need to see wholesale changes from that Wolves game. I think that's important. I know he's made quite a few changes in the last couple of weeks, and it's important that he isn't tinkering too much. But you know, like you said, cup game, opportunity to win a trophy. You know, do the players want it? That is the question. That's what I'm looking for. How badly do they actually want to win a trophy? Because
surely they want to do. They want to do this.
This is our most realistic opportunity of winning a trophy. Because Champions League is always difficult. We're not winning the league. You know, if they want a trophy, the FA Cup is the most viable. We've got Middlesbrough in the next round if we go through. So you can almost say, you know, if we win this, we win that one, we're within touching distance already. So that's the mentality I want to see, man. I want to see them being. I want to see a bit of hunger on the pitch to actually win something. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
All right, I just got to address Big God Bob, he should be a faithful Man United supporter. But he's saying, hope we lose. Big God Bob, is this your actual account? Because you're a United fan, mate. How are you hoping that we lose? What will that achieve in the grand scheme of things, mate? You have to put some reasoning behind that. Yeah, I mean, okay, he's saying Villa will probably be better, but why are you hoping we lose though? That's not the same as, you know. I don't get that. Big God Bob, man. You need to really go into your, what do you call it, your nostalgia chest and look at how Man United have been the best Premiership legacy team and know that we can eventually go back to that. Okay, it's been depressing. I know it has. But sure, see, I'm talking to myself right now. I'm trying to get myself G'd up as well.
You are. Everyone just listening. We're just like, yeah, Eddie, you keep lying to yourself.
Hey, come on. Surely, yeah. Ralph is going to be listened to, or you get some of these youth players in, you know? So we get some of these. I mean, we're not even talked about the transfer window. Before we wrap up, yeah. I mean, do we think any players are going to be drafted in? Maybe a loan, maybe. I don't think a permanent transfer will come in, but I've been saying, like on some of my own streams, maybe he goes to Leipzig and says, okay, let me borrow this centre midfielder here. People like, I don't know if you heard about Konrad Lehmer, good centre midfielder, knows the gegenpress, right? He's a big, strong player like McTominay, knows how to play. He can play in different positions like right mid, centre mid, set defensive mid. Yeah, maybe Ralph has them connections to go and get some of his players that is teached at Leipzig. You know, before I get your guys' point of view, let me just honor some more super chat. So, Flying Pig United fan, I don't know why that's not showing up. I think you put a sticker or something. Flying, yes, I can't see the super stickers, but thanks for the super chats there. Yeah, Maisie, do you see any kind of transfers coming in?
Well, I have seen some links, but then I also read that we're not going to be bringing anybody in at all. If you do look at how the club is right now, you do look and think what's going to attract a player to come to Manchester United, because we haven't got no security for the future, because we don't even know who's going to be the permanent manager in the summer, and that will just lead a player to believe, well, I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months' time, so what would be the point of me leaving to come to this club? Because if
Maisie,
I was a player,
real quick, Maisie, the money. big wages.
Of course, the wages is going to play a factor, but this is the reason why we can't offload players, because we give so much money to a player per week, and then we can't get rid of them because they'll want them kind of wages elsewhere, and then other teams aren't going to want to pay for them wages. But the only real link I've properly seen is Alvarez from River Plate. There was apparently going to be talks, but apart from that, I haven't seen no proper links in terms of a midfielder, which we really do need. Not seen any links in defence. I know we've heard the odd rumour like with Neves and Kamara, but we haven't heard nothing official.
Yeah. Griffin, what do you think as well, man? I mean, yeah.
I don't see anything happening. You got to factor in that the Glazers spent money on what the wages predominantly on Ronaldo, brought Varane and Sancho in last summer as well, and Tom Heaton. Let's not forget about Tom. But it was quite an expensive summer for the Glazers, especially. So I think they're just going to hold back and think no. I think getting Rangnick in would be enough, just kind of smooth over. Obviously, it won't be, but that's probably what the Glazers are thinking. So I don't see any loans. I don't even see many players coming in or out, to be fair. I don't see...
Yeah.
I think January is a very hard window to operate in.
Yeah.
And it is ideal for teams like United that haven't sort of met the expectations where we're meant to be, where it's challenged for the title with Chelsea, City and Liverpool. So I just think it's going to be a very quiet window, both ins and outs for United, which it shouldn't be, but there's that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't see any permanent signings coming in because they spent like a lot on Ronaldo and Varane and all of these guys as well. Let me set you up before I come to you, Usman. Would you guys take Frank Kessie? What do you think about Frank Kessie, Usman?
Yeah, he's an absolute baller, isn't he, really? In terms of his value, I mean, it's a no-brainer, really, given what we've currently got at the club. McTominay and Fred and climate lace his boots. So, he's a free in summer, so I'm assuming we could get him on the cheap if we were to get him, if we were desperately trying to get him in January. But I think it comes back to what Maisie said, really. A lot of players aren't really aware of who the manager is going to be in 6 months' time. Why would you realistically sign, let's just say, in a hypothetical world, let's just say we get Pochettino. He might not, I mean, Ralph was bought Kessie in January. Pochettino might not even want to play him, similar to what happened with Donny van de Beek. And you've got another player then that's sat on the bench where the fans are crying out for that person to get an opportunity, and the manager never wanted them. So I think we've got to bear that in mind as well. But for me personally, I don't, regardless of which manager comes in 5 months, they're going to want to sign a DM. So I think if Rangnick has potentially got the capabilities of picking out a gem right now in January, then I think we need to be all over it because we need a DM desperately if we're going to have any form of happiness this season, because it's quite apparent we are so short in that department. But sadly, I just don't see anything happening. The reports that came out yesterday as well from credible journalists such as Samuel Lockhurst suggesting that Man United aren't looking to do any business this window, potentially trying to offload players on loans. Amad Diallo linked to Birmingham, the likes of obviously Martial, Lingard, etc. But yeah, I don't see any ins, which is a massive shame, but it is what it is. We just got to accept it.
Okay. We're going to take a few more questions before we wrap up. Josh 700 has put this in twice. Instead of two players on the flank, Sancho and Greenwood, why don't we play McTominay, Bruno, and Van der Beek in midfield, and up front CR7 and Cavani and Sancho, a 4-3-3? What do you guys think of that?
Nah, I don't see it. We're not in 2009. I don't think Ronaldo can do a job full time at left wing. He's a striker, so I think it's very. I don't see it personally.
Well, maybe Cavani's put to the left instead.
It's just pointless, man. Why play him on the left when you've got Rashford? Respectfully,
Rashford's off form.
Yeah, but it still don't make sense to play someone like Cavani in Rashford's position. If anything, that's just going to kill his confidence even more. So, yeah, I just don't see. I mean, I don't mind the 4-3-3, but the personally selected, I personally don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks to Flying Pig United fan getting in these super chats. No message though, but thanks for the input. We're going to wrap it up around this time then, guys. I mean, get in your likes if you haven't done. Sorry I couldn't get to all of the comments. It's been very in-depth commentary and discussion that we've been doing. I'm really hoping we get this win, guys. I mean, my what do you call it? My mood relies on it for tomorrow. Yeah, I don't want to put too much of myself into this game, but I'm a Man United fan. We're all Man United fans. They've got to surely give us something, not just performance and result. It's a cup game, right? Cup game is when you really get your energy going. It's a one-off. Go out there, you do the job. It's not like we're talking about a mediocre team here, guys. We're talking about Man United. The passion should be there. I mean, this makes me happy as well. What Fergie's son's saying, laugh at Arsenal. That's making me happy now. But we got to do the work. Man United got to do the work. But anyway, yeah. Thanks again to Flying Pig United getting in these 79p super chats, man.
You won the lottery or something?
I don't know. Gongshi as well. What you saying? We're going to win 5-0. Come on, Gongshi. Come on, lad.
I like this.
I like that energy.
The confidence.
I love that as well. But yeah, guys, you know what to do with Flying Pig United. Like and subscribe if you're new. 50k, as I said at the start of the stream. So keep subscribing. There's going to be good content like this with the fans coming on and talking about the game. Flying Pig. Joe will be doing the watch along on Monday, so tune in for that as well. If you're into FIFA, he'll be doing the FIFA later on around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So get your notifications on for that. Get into the commentary get into the video description. Look for all of the links. He's on Instagram, Twitter. Just get in there. He talks to everyone. He's a man of the people. So get in there. Get what questions you want to get to Pigo. He will chat back to you. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. Usman, where can people find you, mate?
Yo, firstly, obviously Eddie said, make sure you're slapping a like and subscribing to the channel. Regarding myself, you can find me on Usman Talks United, as it says on screen, on Twitter and on YouTube.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at looking at the comments there. Yes, mate. Now, Kane, great show, guys. Enjoy the debate. Great panel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channels. That's it, man. Subscribe to Usman Talks United. And Maisie, where can people find you as well?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Devils United. Mine's Manchester United content, both for the men and the women's side of the football. So you'll be able to see both the side of them contents. And you can find me also on my Twitter, which is at 2_MUFC Maze. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been such a good show, and I've enjoyed meeting you all as well.
Thanks for coming on, Maisie. We're on 92 likes, by the way, guys. If you haven't hit the like, hit the like. Maybe we can get to 100 before we come off. And Griffo, where can people find you as well, mate?
At Charlie Griffo 1 on Twitter, and also Delay Kickoff on YouTube, and also go check out United Flying High, which is the related website for Flying Pig United.
Nice. Everyone, get interactive, get onto those links. And for me as well, I've got my own channel, Eddie's Football Waffle. I do, Manchester United content on there as well. I try and add a little bit of levity to what's going on too, because it's been depressing. So check out my channel if you can. So yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. I've got to give shout outs to people in the chat. Gongshi, thanks for getting in here and moderating. Fergie's son, thanks for getting in here. Sin Games, Josh 700, Flying Pig United fan for all your super chats. Thanks for getting in here as well. Madhouse, sub to Flying Pig, Mamasini, always in here as well. Avenger Master, a great guy too. Always updates us with the likes as well. Alias as well. Thanks, everyone. Sorry if I couldn't get to all your comments. And yeah, we're going to wrap up there. Everyone, take care.